Hello, I'm Brianna. Welcome to My Life on Paper, where paper and pictures tell my story, and it is time for a Stick It Down design team layout. This is the beautiful sketch by Brandy Joe, and I strayed a little bit. I went into my paper pad. I got one from pulled out a pad from Hobby Lobby that I got a while back. It was like $5 for the paper pad. I've been using this for a while. In order to cut my 12 by 12 papers in half, I usually take my long, it's kind of like a quilting ruler, and put it on down the middle, and then I'm able to fold and make a crease. I crease it both directions, and then I cut it out with my scissors. I just loved that all of these colors match the photo. So it's got an orange in it, mainly orange, and some black. And then this brick pattern is like the orangey pattern. And if you look at the pictures, you'll see a orange brick that is behind the dartboard. So Meredith, my daughter, went out with her friends in Madison, near where we live, and they're all they all went to school in the Milwaukee area, so she got to show off Madison and take them out to some places there. And these are photos from that. And I started off well, first of all, Walgreens has a code every once in a while for an 8 by 10 photo. So I was able to use that code, and then my daughter used the code, and so I had two large photos. I trimmed those down into, they're not 8.5, maybe it might be 8-inch circles, something close to that. And then I didn't want to trim the smaller photos into circles like is on the sketch. First of all, I had a couple more pictures than the sketch. And secondly, I would have lost a lot. So this one I leave as a 4 by 6, and the rest get down to 4 by 4. And I'm going to round them all because I have the circle photos. So my photos are going to take up much more real estate than what they do on the sketch. And I've always said the sketch is a jumping off point, and I've always encouraged people to use it, to make them work for them. And this is really showing you how you could make it work for you. You don't have to use the same size photos. You don't have to use the same shape photos. But I did use the background, and then I am going to bring some more circles into this layout. To warn you, this is another stash busting layout, which I think all my layouts are stash busting, but I do have to tell you there's a couple collections I have that are brand new that I haven't used yet. I have a pretty little studio one I got to get out and use because it's fabulous before it gets old and I hang on to it for too long and I don't even open it up. All right, so I'm going to use washi to cover my seam here. There is a thin border, thin line on the sketch itself. And I use this kind of coral color. I don't use my washi near enough, so if I can use it, if I think to use it, I'm going to use it. I'm going to layer my photos on the left side, and I think I get a couple things laid down before I glue everything, although I know this is the way my background is going to be, so I'll glue that. And I do use, when I'm doing this, more adhesive than I would normally use, because it can, I don't know, well, it's heavy cardstock, so it could come off. And it just seems like it needs to be anchored good, not that it's going to curl or something. So here we go. And then I will get washi tape on that other side. Down below, you will find the link to the Stick It Down Facebook group. There is also an Instagram account. But if you want to use the sketches, there's different sketches for each month. There's one page, one 2-page sketch, and a card sketch. And if you do your version of any one of those sketches, you can put it into the album, and you will be considered. There will be one person picked to be the guest designer for next month. I'm going to go off camera and glue these all down. And then I go into my stash, and these are hand-me-down flowers. And so I got two of those on the layout. And then what I'm really excited about are these Reminisce. It was part of like almost like a Disney thing. So there's like reds and blues in the background, but these are just black, and they're kind of not metallic, but they're shiny. And there's these whole concentric rings, right? So I'm going to fill them with one of the pattern papers. There you go. And they're going to be circles on my page. And I'm probably a little bit more excited than I should be about figuring this out. But oftentimes I will start a layout not really knowing what direction I'm going to go, and things just have a way of falling together. I could have used different size paper punches that are circles. I could have used my Cricut to cut different size circles. But I'll tell you, this was a really fast and easy way to get these circles done. Now, there was two of them, so there are two sets of all the different sizes. I'm just showing you there what I was working on. And so they each have all the different sizes on the left side and on the right side. And right now, both of the black flowers are across from each other, which when I was editing this video, I'm like, oh, please don't let them stay that way. It just looks awkward just to be straight across. They do end up moving just a little bit so that they're not exactly across from each other like they are right now. So I'm just going to tuck in these circles and then I'll glue them down. And then I go back into my stash and I find LE Studio banners. And this is something that looks like I would love to use all the time, but it never seems to work on the page that I'm doing. So I'm just still amazed how well this matches. So I pick out the black right away. The banner on the right says "That's you," the black one. And then the one on the left says "Are so loved." And at this point, I don't even really have a title in mind. I have a bunch of different, that's one of the things I really enjoy is getting title stickers where you don't have to think about it and you can just put something on the page. It doesn't have to be Meredith's Night Out or anything like that. It can be um, Girls' Night or whatever is the sticker that I'm using. So I have a whole bunch of simple stories I got from Peachy Cheap one time, and I and other places as well, but I'll pull those out and look at those in a moment. And now you can see my flowers. The black flowers are just a little bit off from the left side and the right side, and that makes me happy because I wasn't seeing wasn't seeing that they were lined up when I was working on the layout. So they are offset a little bit, and I just use the ATG adhesive to get all these pieces down. Sometimes when I'm using a flower, I'll use liquid glue, but um, the ATG for these flowers are pretty thin, so it works well. This is where I'm getting out, trying to figure out what my title is going to be. And I would have loved to put Squad on there, but that there was no room for that. Plus it was black. So this is one of those simple stories, like title stickers. They're foam and it says adore. And then I've got some other stickers from this collection that match. The pink one there says all the heart eyes. And then that one says, I really, really, really like you. That collection of stickers has been in my stash for so long. I'm so glad to find the perfect thing to use them on. There is some kind of pastel-y greeny ones that I won't use. But there's the heart with the musical notes on it. That one says you're great on that banner. And then I have more LA Studio stickers. That one says Friends Forever. Oh, how perfect is that? So I'm going to get that on the right-hand side. And I'm trying to make my circles all look a little bit different. Like they all don't get like two banners or they don't, I'll get two stickers or something like that. So I think I managed to do a good job of that. I have a red puffy sticker heart from LE Studio. There's my banners from LE Studio. And then I think is that one says beautiful friend and that one is blank. So that one, we could write something on there like Girl Squad. Honestly, that would be a good one to write on there. And I think I'm looking for one more. So I find that kind of corally one um, that I'm going to put up there. And then there's a white one I'm going to put underneath it. You can see with just a little bit of the right elements how this page comes together really quickly. The black and white hearts are from Freckled Fawn. So I'll get those. I just used three of them, I think, on the whole layout. A black one, a white one, and a red one. And then I just go in, cover the photos, and I do some splatters with Tim Holtz Distress Spray Stain in black soot. Um, Basically just on the white spots, really, in some of the circles. And that's going to be the last thing I do to finish this layout. I'm going to warn you, I'm not posting a video in the next couple days. I will be back on Friday. I am just taking just a little time off after doing a video every day last month, but I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Have a fabulous day, and please come back and see me again soon.